Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa and you are watching the Exploring Oracle, or the Exploracle for short. So if you're new here, what we usually do is show you a deck. Today it's a special, you get two. I show you all of the cards, we talk about the card stock, how it shuffles, how the guidebook reads, and all that good stuff. Mostly it's for me to share my collection and my thoughts about the deck, and it also hopefully helps you if you're thinking or considering buying a particular deck. Okay, so today we will be taking a look at these two decks by Allison Williams Yee, the Soul Trees Oracle cards and the Soul Trees Ascension deck. So this is the first one that she created, and then she followed up with the Soul Trees Ascension. Now these two decks and two more are actually part of a deck haul that I did last year, which only arrived here in the Philippines very recently. So aside from these two decks, I also got the Soul Seeds deck and the Dreamer's Journey Major Arcana Oracle. And Allison very kindly gave me this journal. So it's a Soul Trees journal, and she gave me this note because maybe it's because I got all of all of the decks that she had in her shop at the moment. So you can see it's dated November 2022, and it's already August 2023 when I'm filming this, and yeah, it just arrived. So if you want to know the whole story of why these decks got delayed, I'll be linking up that video in the eye if you're interested in watching it. Okay, so I'm showing these two decks side by side because they are both Soul Trees, and maybe it will also help you decide which version you're going to get. So are you going to go for the original Soul Trees, or are you going to get the Ascension deck? Or if you're like me, you're going to get both. Now they're still in their plastic wrap, so give me a moment and I'll open these up, and then we'll discuss the similarities and differences for these two decks. Alright, so I took off the covers, and then let's take a look at the boxes first. So this is the original Soul Trees. It's a two-part box. It doesn't have finger cutouts, but it does seem to be separating well with gravity. Oops. And you have a little guidebook, and then you have the cards. So there are 80 cards for each deck. Sorry, let me just separate this because it's new. Some of the cards are sticking together. It's totally normal, and usually just need to separate them first. And it is in a semi-matte satiny kind of cardstock. And oops, let's open up the Soul Trees Ascension. So again, the same type of two-part box. Also opens up really well. Same deal. You have a little guidebook and the cards. Oh, this one is edged. I love it. Oh, I love it. Okay, so right off the bat, feeling of the cardstock, I do like the Ascension deck a lot more. Not just because of the edging here, but it feels. To me, it feels a little bit thinner, but it doesn't look that way, right? Yeah, it feels more slippery. It's also still the same kind of sheen, but yeah, I like these purple edges. Now, I can't remember if she still has these purple edges. It's been a while since I bought it, almost a year, but I do remember that I bought these decks at 50% off. So if you are interested in these decks, when you watch a flip through and you're interested in getting one, you might want to wait until like end of November and see if she would have that sale again, because I got this for like $20, and it's definitely a good bargain. Actually, I think, if I remember correctly, I think that this was even cheaper, like maybe $12, because this was the edition that had some imperfect edges, and I think this is what she might be talking about. See, it's not all even, But honestly, I don't mind that at all. And if just, you know, for a $12 deck, when I got it, this is definitely amazing quality. Okay, so maybe let's read off the backs before we start. So for the original Soul Trees, it says here you have 85 vibrant trees and a 20-page booklet. And it's Soul Trees Oracle cards provide meaningful insight and inspiration. Working with the deck provides an opportunity to discover your inner wisdom. So this is the 3rd edition. And for the Soul Trees Ascension, okay, it's also an 80 card deck. It's an intuitive deck to assist you during this pivotal time on Earth. Expand your awareness, connect with your inner wisdom, and raise your vibration. So again, this was copyright 2020 by Allison Williams B. Okay, so for the fold outs, for the Soul Trees, the original Soul Trees, basically it's printed on this like magazine paper, a little bit glossy. You just have a quick introduction, some layouts or example questions, how to read reverse cards, and then you already go into the so basically you have 3 categories of cards. So you have the Soul Tree cards, you have 62 Soul Trees, interpretation cards, and chakra cards in the deck. So the cards tell a story, it teaches you how to read the cards, and it also gives you a key phrase for each card. So it's not bad. It's you know, you don't get a lot in this little pamphlet, but it's enough for you to get to make your own meanings or to really have your own associations for these cards. And you know what I loved about this deck and why I really chose to get it is because I love this type of art, the watercolor. Let me look at that, the watercolor kind of art, and it has these really expansive keywords. And for 80 cards each deck, it's just a really good value. Okay, so let's also just take a quick look at the Ascension deck guidebook. Same kind of paper. You have the layouts, the card meanings, how to tune into your intuition, which I love because I do feel like I have to work on that. And then also some card meanings just to get some additional information if you want it. But definitely you can just go and use the keywords on the cards. Again, I'll be doing a side-by-side of these decks. They are not the same, but and I don't think there are any repeat keywords, which is amazing for, you know, an 80 card deck. So 160 here. And maybe by the end of it, you can have insight whether you just want to get one, the other, or maybe even both. Alright, so let's start with the flip through. So first off, this is the original Soul Trees and this is the Soul Trees Ascension deck. So for the original, they're both borderless, but for the original, you do have this like translucent background that shows the name of the card and the keyword, while it just shows you the keyword on the Soul Trees Ascension. So for the original, it shows the chakra cards first. So feel free to slow down, speed up, or pause if you want to take a closer look at these cards. Because I usually do flip throughs kind of fast. So if you need more time, please feel free to pause the video. Now right off the bat, I do feel like the Ascension deck has a lot more variety than the original trees. Because for the original Soul Trees, it's mostly just the trees and different colors. But here, I don't know, it just feels like there's a lot more going on in the cards. But the keywords are really good. Yeah, it's kind of so I don't know if I'm confusing myself just reading reading both, but yeah, I have guidance, becoming, initiative, beliefs and expectations. So yeah, the art style is very much different. Like here, the color palette is pretty similar, but it has very different feeling. Inner voice, body. I thought it would be easy to like pick a favorite, but it's hard. I mean, that's not the case. It's like, it feels very different to me, you know? These decks, they feel like they're giving off very different energies. The Soul Trees feel a little bit more direct and straight to the point. The Ascension deck does feel a little bit more gentle. And I really like the art style. And even though it's just a keyword for each card, and it's mostly just trees, illustrations of trees. I really like this deck. These decks. But if I were to pick a preference or a preferred art style, I am leaning a little bit more towards the Ascension deck. Oh, sorry, I didn't show you the backs. So these are the backs. Soul Trees and Ascension. Not reversible. Reversible for the Soul Trees deck. Yeah, sorry. But they're both really lovely decks. I do prefer the cardstock. Definitely I prefer the cardstock of the Ascension deck more. This one slightly feels a little cardboardy compared to the Ascension deck. So this one feels better for me. I keep tapping this side, but it's not showing on camera. So the Ascension deck for me feels a little bit better on the cardstock. I do kind of prefer the art style or the art on this deck too, but the original Soul Trees also has a very different energy that I don't necessarily find in the Ascension deck, if that makes sense. Wow. There's also a lot more variety. It feels like on the art on the Ascension deck compared to the Soul Trees. I do feel though that there would be certain times that I would prefer to use the original Soul Trees over the Ascension deck. It just feels like it feels more direct to the point. It feels more, I don't know, just if I'm looking for something straight to the point, something snappy, something that I don't mind, you know, to call me out or something, this deck feels like it's the deck to use. And I really like the keywords so far. You know, it's not, I haven't noticed repeating keywords. Some of the cards do feel a little bit similar after a while, but I don't mind that at all. So this deck also has like some messages like love you, make a wish, compared to the soul trees, where it's really just a keyword. Gosh, I love that it's 80 cards. When I'm doing Oracle deck flip throughs, normally I'd be done by now. But yeah, I think we're just halfway there. This card stock sometimes feels like, you know, I'm holding two cards, which is why I kind of prefer this one a lot more. So for our other two decks, I will be doing a separate flip through of those. I only did these two side by side because they're both soul trees, so you know they're a lot more similar than the other two decks that I have from Allison. But yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of her art. And honestly, it just showed up randomly as a suggestion, I think, on, I'm not even sure if it's on Etsy. I can't remember if I bought it on Etsy or if I bought it directly from her site. I will put a link down below in the description where you can purchase this deck. But yeah, again, a tip. I got these at 50% off around November of last year. I'm reading this because it's a little bit difficult for me to read because of the light font, and it says subtle energy, and yeah, yeah, it is subtle. Speak your truth, sweetness. I kind of also resonate a lot more with, well, I kind of resonate more with the keywords on the original soul trees. So you know, if I had to decide which one to get, it would be really difficult. So yeah, maybe the best thing to do if you're interested in both decks would be to wait for the sale. So it's like you're just getting one deck. So yeah, it's like you're getting two decks for the price of one. Oh, I flipped through the cards unevenly. This is wisdom. Okay. Alright, so I zoomed out. So let's shuffle the soul trees, the original soul trees first. And there's really no issue shuffling this deck. But for some reason, it feels a little more comfortable if I shuffle it face up. Something about, I don't know, the corners of these cards, they feel sharper when I shuffle it the other way around. I have another deck that does that. It's the Mary L, which, you know, I shuffle face up because of the same feeling. It's like, let me show you. You can see that it clumps when I do it that way, which is strange. But yeah, if I shuffle it this way, then there's really no issue. You can also bridge it. Overhand is not a problem. And let's see if we can get a card to read. Okay, probably let's choose this one. And let's put that to the side. Break free while we shuffle the Ascension deck. And then we'll read the entry on the fold out or the guidebook after. So for this deck, okay, I really prefer the cardstock of the second, oh sorry, not the second edition, of the Soul Trees Ascension. Okay, it shuffles better this way. Oh, probably we can use this to read. And also no issues. Overhand shuffling, side shuffling, no issues there. And for this card, it says Spirit. Okay, so let's start with Soul Trees. The entries on the guidebook are alphabetical, so it's easy to find. So for the Soul Trees, the keyword is break free. It says release and let go of what has been holding you back. And then for the Ascension deck, Spirit, let me just find that real quick. Okay, Spirit, spiritual self, higher self, essential self. What does Spirit mean to me? What is my expression of Spirit? So reading this together, it feels like there's something that you have to let go of for you to truly embody or truly get messages that say from Spirit. So maybe that's the message for us here for these two cards. Of course, if you're getting a different message, then you should listen to that, and that is probably the message for you. And yeah, so let's just take let's take a look at some of the other cards. But yeah, I am very much drawn to the art on these two decks. I like this art style, this the watercolor kind of art style. Most of my decks, or the ones that I'm really drawn to, are watercolor art, illustrated art, nature-based. I really like the keywords. It's a very versatile oracle decks, because I think you can pair it with a lot of decks. You have these expansive keywords and phrases that you can use to get a message or to jump off from. And there's enough there's enough shadow and light keywords on both decks for you to get a really balanced reading. Now, do you need both of them? I don't think so. I mean, I don't really think we need more than one deck. It's a tool. It's something that helps us connect, but we don't really need all of these tools, right? So pick, if you just want to pick one that calls to you more. I personally am glad that I have both. Again, wait for a sale. Just so you get more bang for your buck. I hope you find this video helpful. This has been the flip through of the Soul Trees Oracle cards and the Soul Trees Ascension deck by Allison Williams. I'll be linking down below where I got this, and if you find this video helpful, please don't forget to click on the like button and do consider subscribing to my channel, where I post videos like this at least once a week. See you again next time. Bye!